Just a quick one, guys. We've released our January merch drop, so do browse the new collection. We've got the Mr. Blue Nose tees, along with our Stauncho Meter tees. Do, as I said, browse the collection by going down into the link in the description, or going to rfcclothing.com. Anyway, let's get into today's video. And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, guys. I hope you're all well. Before we do get into today's video, as always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Guys, in today's video, we've got some big Michy Batshuayi news. We're also going to be going through all the latest Rangers news from the last 24 hours. So obviously starting, yesterday, as we confirmed in the video last night, that of course Sam Lammers has now departed to FC Utrecht on a season, or half a season long loan until the end of the campaign, and then of course Utrecht do have apparently an option to buy. It's not something they have to do, but they have an option to buy him for I think around £2.5 million, which would see us make a loss of £1 million. To be honest, if we do recoup anywhere near £2.5 million, I think that's good business for us. So here's hoping that Sam Lammers does really well. I think he's come under a lot of stick from our supporters. I don't think he's the most liked Rangers player, hasn't really lit up the world, but it was a transfer that we kind of seen in the summer that wasn't really going to work, was it? It just didn't seem like it would happen. You know, he's been around, he's been a bit of a journeyman these days, and it's never really worked out where he's gone, and it's kind of, you know, he was dubbed as this sort of wonder kid, maybe coming up through his time as a younger player at PSV, but wherever he's gone, it just hasn't worked, and it was a silly transfer for Rangers to make, and hopefully we will learn a lesson from spending big money on these fix-me-up players. You know, we aren't this place where, you know, we buy these players that had great potential before, they've stunk the place out wherever they've went, and kind of have to try and fix them up. We need to start looking at a different method of recruiting, going for younger players rather than, you know, the journeyman that were dubbed to be quite good, that played in the top 5 leagues. I don't think that method works. It's not really worked for us, and again, that transfer has been poor. But yeah, Sam Lammers has gone to FC Utrecht. I do wish him all the best. Hopefully he does really well, and as I said, hopefully in return Rangers can then get about £2.5 million for his services. But that probably now means that we are going to be going in for a striker of some sort. I know we've brought in Fabio Silva, but letting another player out the door just really opens it up that we do need another striker for the second half of the season, and probably more of a prolific one. And over the last couple of days, Michy Batshuayi has been a rumour coming around sort of Scottish media and sort of the European media with regards to Rangers potentially making a move for him, because he's currently out of favour supposedly at Batshuayi. However, due to according to multiple sources that I know and that are close to the club, I have got some bad news for you on this one, and is that Rangers aren't interested in Michy Batshuayi, and he will not be joining Rangers this January transfer window. So sorry to be the bearer of bad news. Some would probably be happy with that, some not so happy, but as I said, Rangers are not interested in the player and will not be making a move for Michy Batshuayi at this moment in time. Again, he is linked with a move and a departure from Fenerbahce this month, but we will not be his next destination. So there's the news with regards to him. With regards to other striking targets, again, I don't know at this moment in time. It's all kind of just names kind of emerging. And as I said on this channel, guys, I want to keep myself reputable. I don't want to bring you every rumour that I see on the internet. You know, I listen to decent sources. I listen to sources that are close to the football club, and I listen to sources that I trust over the last sort of 3 to 4 years of doing YouTube. So again, when we do have an option, when we do have a target with some concrete information behind it, or solid substance behind it, then you'll be the first to find out, I'm sure about it. But Michy Batshuayi is not a player that we are actively pursuing this January. Lawrence Shankland, again, hopefully we could probably go in for him. But again, no news on that one. No news with regards to that player. No links at this moment in time. But as I said, there's still a while to go in this January transfer window. Another 20 days to go. So yeah, hopefully we start to hear some stuff happen and making moves over the next sort of couple of weeks, or couple of days at least, to get ready for that game against Dumbarton. Rangers, of course, yesterday landed in Spain for their sort of winter training, or warm weather training to prepare for the second half of the campaign. We have got a friendly against Hertha Berlin on Saturday whilst being out in Spain before obviously returning back to Ibrox to take on Copenhagen, and then of course we will then prepare for that game against Dumbarton in the Scottish Cup. And yeah, so yeah, we're going to be out on the training field, try and keep our fitness levels, and as I say, implement Philippe Clement's ideas across during this time in Spain. So here's hoping it is a successful period. But with regards to any more sort of news, for transfer news, I haven't really got much for you today, guys, unfortunately. But as I stated, I will keep you up to date with things as they do move on. Lastly, though, Kenny Miller has came out and spoke about Cyril Dessers. He has urged Cyril Dessers to keep his head down at Rangers, insisting the response to his big miss against Celtic will make or break his career forever. The Nigerian striker has come under fire for his performances since moving to the Jazz in the summer, with consistently levels far from the required level at this moment in time. In glimpses, Dessers has shown that he could be a valuable asset for Rangers, but after suffering a nightmare miss against rival Celtic before the turn of the year, the pressure is now on for the 29-year-old to produce the goods. And Miller, who bagged 111 goals in 291 matches during his three spells at Ibrox, now feels the frontman has to step up before he's ultimately shifted out by manager Philippe Clement, with replacements coming in. Reflecting on Dessers' big miss against Celtic, Miller explained, "Listen, he has had a tough run since he's came to the club. He's only 6 months into his Rangers career, so it's still early. He had a big opportunity to convince a few people about him, and he was in good form going into the game against Celtic. He had scored a few goals going into it, and the one in Seville against Betis was outstanding, and a big goal as well. So you were hoping that he would have been able to turn the corner for him. And it isn't to say that he can't do that. He missed the chance, that's it. But it's unfortunate it was in a big game, and a big game Rangers didn't win. When that happens as a forward, he would be looking back on it, still thinking about it. I can recall misses over the course of my career that I still think about now, even though they were 10 years ago. Those big opportunities in the big games that you don't take, where your team eventually don't win, you always think about them. He has to keep at it, and that's one thing he has done. He has put his head down and been there, and has been able to, with no one else to play up front at the moment. He has had to carry the can for that. Whether he has been good, bad, or indifferent, you have to give him credit for that as well. And this isn't to say he can't turn a corner. Asked if the miss will be playing on Dessers' mind, Miller continued, "Until the next one comes around and you put it to rest, that's it. There has been a lot of talk about him, and he is there. He is always there to be shot at, and takes the stick, you're hoping it turns. And if it doesn't, there is a transfer window we are in now, and the manager has already signed another striker. That brings competition, and that is what big clubs need. You can't hide. The only way to deal with it is to keep putting yourself out there and try to be in the right position to take this chance. Every forward scores goals eventually. You can't afford to hide. You need to keep putting yourself out there, and to be fair to him, he's done that. He's maybe just the take in the big moments well. He did that by the look at the goal in Seville, and a lot of people thought, right, maybe there's something in here, and you're just hoping it had turned. And it did. I think fans had a little bit. I don't think they were on him as much at the moment going into the Old Firm game, but when you don't take these big chances, you don't get the result. There's always going to be scrutiny." So that's Kenny Miller's thoughts on Cyril Dessers. As I stated, I do believe there's another striker coming in through the door. Cyril Dessers isn't a lost cause like Sam Lammers is, in my opinion. I think he's shown something, even though I don't think he's the answer. But here's hoping with a bit more sort of competition for places, we'll get the best out of him going forward. But Rangers fans, that's all I've got for you today, guys. Do let me know your thoughts with regards to Sam Lammers leaving, of course, and let me know your thoughts with regards to Michy Batshuayi. Are you sad that he's not going to be joining the football club, and is he a player that you would have liked to see leading the line for the Jazz? Again, let me know down there in the comment section below. That brings us to the end of today's video. As always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content, and I'll see you all next time. Remember, we do have Rangers t-shirts available on our website, so do browse the collection by going down into the link in the description, or going to rfcclothing.com. Thank you, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Push.